Hello and welcome to Good Life, the health show with me, Pooja. Well, this is a show that focuses on providing you with solutions to your health-related issues, lifestyle and much more. Well, viewers, you can't expect your children to be all for this new lifestyle routine if they see their parents constantly on their phones or devices. One should show their children that there is life past the screen. Now, use this as an opportunity to engage in more activities together and strengthen relationships. So, to discuss on screen addiction among children, we are being joined today by Dr. Mridusmita Neog, psychologist and psychotherapist. So, not to waste any more time, I'll straight away move to her and talk more on the topic which we have taken today. Well, thank you so much, Doctor, for joining to Good Life, the health show. So, today the topic which we have taken is, of course, a concerning matter for all the parents out there who are watching our show at this point in time. So, now screen time for children. Now, how are these screen addiction is adapting all the children's out there? Now, if we talk about what is screen addiction, doctor, what would be that?
Excessive use of all sort of electronic gadgets for a longer period of time can be termed as screen addiction. It might be like watching TV for longer periods of time, playing mobile games, all sort of video games, or just scrolling social media and being on the mobile, seeing YouTube videos. So, exposure and excessive use of screen time for longer duration can be termed as screen addiction.
Screen addiction, okay. So, there must be some basic symptoms also, doctor. So, what would be those symptoms? Parents will come to know that immediately they have to have a help from any of these specialists.
Yes, see, not only in children, certain symptoms can be also seen in us as an adult.
Absolutely.
Like for example, if I say during certain conditions or situations when internet is not working, we as an adult also sometimes we get frustrated, right? So, we can imagine the plight of the children if they are exposed to the screen for longer duration of time and suddenly they are unable to use that screen. We might see all sort of behavioral problems in them. They might show tantrums.
Okay.
Then there will be sleep issues, conduct disorders will be there. Lack of focus in their day-to-day activities, inability to concentrate on their studies. So, there are n number of issues that can be reflect in their behavior.
All right. So, our numbers are flashed on your television screens, viewers. So, if you have any queries regarding the topic which we are discussing at this point in time, please call up and ask your questions. Now, doctor, coming back to you again. Now, certain symptoms would be there for parents to come to know there is a certain change in the behavior in their children because of the screen time or because of the time that has been fixed for their children to see the screen. So, what are those symptoms, doctor? And like how to deal with these?
They might show irritability, they might show anger issues, they might be rebellious at times, they might not follow whatever we have advised them to do, and sleep issues might be visible in them due to longer period of exposed to screen time, you know. So, in order to deal with this, we need to set a proper schedule for them, how much time we are actually giving them to be on the screen, to be on the mobile or the electronic gadgets that we are offering them, and for what purpose they are using it. We also have to monitor that, because if the child is exposed to some unnecessary stuff that we don't want the child to look into, that might have a negative impact on the child's mental health conditions, because the child is growing up.
Right.
Whatever he is seeing there, whatever he is taking from the screen, if we are unaware about it, if the child is exposed to violence on screen, so those kind of things can also be reflected in his physical world, in his real world. So, all these issues can be visible in the child, and to deal with it, we have to be specific with the time limit that we are offering to the kid and for what purpose we are offering, and we have to inculcate more of the outdoor activities in the child, more of the physical games instead of the video games and all sort of electronic games that they are in for these days. And if we are doing it for the child, if we are offering the time limit for the child, we have to be specific. We have to give them the reasons so that they can understand why we are preventing them for
Why is those routines set for the children?
Yeah, for not being on the mobile for a longer period of time. And you know, if the child or if us as an adult also, if the time limit exceeds for more than 6 hours, then it can be again termed as screen addiction. Sometimes we just casually, we passively, I would say passively be on the mobile scrolling all sort of things, but we are not actively present. Now, if that pattern is visible in the child, then the parents should be aware and has to actually do something to help the child. If they are not able to help, then of course there are there are experts available, they can get in touch.
So what is the first thing or what the parents should know, like if they find any kind of such behavioral changes in their children? So what is the first thing they can do at home itself? Of course, there are experts who can help them at every time. Now, if we talk about the things that they can apply at home, of course, there will be a set of time, a screen time should be set, a proper routine should be set. But if that hampers the behavioral changes in the children, so what are the things that can be done at home?
The first and foremost thing, the child grew up looking to us, right? They see us, they imitate us. What is our behavior in the home environment is very important. Now, if I am instructing my child not to be on the mobile, not to be on, not to watch the TV while having the lunch or the dinner, and if I keep on doing the similar thing, the child will never agree to my instructions. So I have to also monitor my behavior, and we have to make a healthy family environment. By healthy family environment, I mean here is more of communication. We have seen that these days most of the families are neutral families, and most of the parents are working. So we hardly get time to have a healthy communication with our children. So we need to make that time for our children whenever we get time from our busy schedule. We should have a healthy conversation with them and try to build a happy environment.
Happy environment as well. Okay, Doctor, we'll have more discussion, but we'll have to take a break. All right, viewers, will slip into a short break, but do come back soon because we have lots more on the other side. Welcome back, viewers. You're still watching Good Life, the Health Show with me, Pooja, and we are having a fruitful discussion on the screen addiction which is seen nowadays in children. Now, Doctor, coming back to you again. Earlier to the break, we had a quite idea about the symptoms and what are the changes which is found in the behavioral changes in the children and what can be done immediately at home, and if not possible, then experts are there to have a look on it.
Yes.
Now, if we talk about, we have seen that nowadays children are losing interest in outdoor activities and they are preferring more time to spend more time in screen or watching TV or playing video games or whatever on mobile phones. Now, on that note, what is the reason behind this? Is it because of the lifestyle which the parents are leading? This is one kind of reason we can say, and also because of the neutral families nowadays as everybody is leading. So what do you have to say, Doctor?
So, yes, there are again several reasons behind for children opting more of the indoor games than the outdoor games. And nowadays there are lots of security issues also if we see in the society. So, there are various reasons, not only because of the parents' lifestyle, our lifestyles, or the neutral families, but yes, we as a parent, we need to build up that environment where the child actually move out of their screen. I would say move out of the indoor games and go out and play. Because it not only builds up their personality, it helps for the overall development of the child. It helps in the proper motor development of the child, and we can see that when the child is engrossed into this screen for a longer period of time, it also hampers their focus. And that is why lots of irritation can be seen among the child these days. Teen depression can also be seen these days. Childhood depression can also be seen. So, it is good for us as a parent if we inculcate the habit in the child that although yes, I do not suggest that screen is bad, lots of knowledgeable things are there nowadays. So, but yes, they should actually make a balance to the screen time, as well as they should actually develop the outdoor activities as well.
Okay. Now, Doctor, do you also agree, like, due to this COVID pandemic, for this 2 years, there was a lot of like screen time being used by the children because of the school activities. We were seeing that online classes were on.
Yes.
So after that, we have seen a lot of like engrossment of students or the children for in their screens or whatever activities, and what we are seeing is that they find it they find the interesting ways to inculcate things from the screen, whatever the YouTube videos they go for. Of course, there are things which they can get a help from the YouTubes and also the other videos as well, but there are certain things that parents will have to keep an eye on their children, because there are a lot of videos flashed nowadays in the internet. So on that note, how to keep an eye on the children, because they should not feel that we are always being like judged, or we are always being seen by our parents. So one has to be very careful, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So that's why I have mentioned that while we are saying something to our child, if we are preventing them from doing something, we need to suffice them with our reasons. And they are smart enough nowadays. They will be able to understand our reasons why we are preventing them to do a particular stuff, why we are preventing them from using a screen for a longer period of time. And like you mentioned, because of the COVID, this habit actually developed a lot. And you see here, if the child is using the mobile, the screen for educational purpose, and also using the mobile, the screen for this entertainment purpose, then the time limit has gone beyond. So eventually the screen addiction will be there. And at certain level, the child will also not be able to differentiate between whether I am enjoying the free time, where I am watching all the YouTube videos or all sort of funny videos, or whether I am actually learning something from the screen. So that differentiation has to be taught to the child. If the child is using it for entertainment purpose, let him use it, but there should be a particular time limit. And if the child is using it for educational purpose, yes, nowadays everything is technology based. We cannot take it away from the child also. So there has to be again time limit. So everything has to be under a certain frame, so that the child also don't get confused, and the screen time is also under our control.
Okay. Now, if any child or any parents visit your hospital, so what are the suggestions, what are the counseling methods you give to them? What is the first thing? Of course, you take a history and then you see the case, like what is the case all about? If it is like, okay, workable at home itself, so you suggest them or give them a procedure, what can be done or what should not be done. So there must be some of the productive things which can be applied at home itself. Suppose if a mother is working in kitchen, so they can also include their children in some activities which is not harmful for them. So that can also be done for them. That will be interesting for them to
inculcating all sort of life skills.
Life skills, yeah.
So nowadays, yes, just yesterday I met a patient. He said that now I am forced to do all these things which in my entire life I was not exposed to.
Okay.
Now the patient was exposed to all sort of things because of certain conditions, and he need to do it, and he is actually learning all sort of life skills. And see, as an adult, the patient is not able to accept the situation he is in. So if we don't inculcate that habit in our child, that doing all sort of day-to-day activities, day-to-day life skills are part of us, then they will always be mechanical. They will take it as granted, and later on when we try to tell them that they need to do it, they will not accept it.
Okay.
So it has to be there from the root.
That will become a burden for them if suddenly things come to them as well. Like, now, what are the productive things which parents can like inculcate in their children at home? What suggestions you give, Doctor?
Like inculcating all sort of physical indoor games. Like if we take an example of carom, ludo, all sort of things are available, and lots of playful activities are
even the
available
household
these days.
activities or household work also they can
Yes, and inculcating all sort of hobbies. Now, if I ask a client, if I ask a child in my clinic, what is your hobby? The child will reply that I like to play video games.
So this is the first thing which the answer comes.
Just reflect back to our own childhood, what used to be our hobbies. So in that way we need to inculcate those things within our child too, so that they actually take every bit of things from the environment. There is a lots of things to learn from the environment if they come out of the electronic gadgets.
Okay. Now, the behavioral changes we are talking about, doctor, there must be certain behavioral changes which is very difficult for the parents to deal with. So, on that note, experts like you or doctors like you, what suggestions or what is there a medication treatment part also being done, or only the counseling helps the children?
Yes, medication part is there, but it depends on the disorder the child is brought to our clinic. So, it will vary. If the child is not having a severity of issue, then one-to-one counseling will also do, psychotherapy will do, supportive counselings are there, that will also do. So, and also parenting counseling is there, because if a child is adopting a certain habit within them, there has to be something in the family, in the environment.
Right.
So, family counseling, parental counseling is needed there.
Okay, so parental counseling is also being given. So,
yes.
what are the tips or what are the counseling methods you give? You have a team, of course. So, what is the initial thing is being given to the parents? What is being said to the parents, and then comes to the child?
Because what happens, you know, in certain cases, when a child is brought to our clinic, the parents are also frustrated. They has to balance their own work life, family life, and at the same time they have to handle the kids also, which is the most important thing in their life.
Right.
But they are somewhere unable to balance that. As a parent, and when the child is not obeying whatever the parent is instructing to the child, there they becomes irritated, all sort of anger issues, all sort of anxiety, depressions, everything pops in. So, it's also essential for the parent to know certain ways where they can handle their emotions also. So, their counseling is also going on separately. At the same time, the child counseling is also going on.
Okay, okay. So, balancing both is very important for the parents, and it is always good, like if you have grandparents at home, so you get a lot of like you can hear stories, or the things become little easy for them as well, because if the parents are working parents, so for them it's also an ease in life that someone back at home is there to see their children as well and to guide them as well. But on that note, we also have to take care of the things that of course like as parents, when we go back to home, so we should also take out at least an hour for the children, so that the things, whatever had happened for the day, suppose whatever went in school, they should have a proper discussion or help in the productive activities or have a playful time as well, and then go back to your work or whatever it is. So these things should be also included.
Yes, and parents are parents, you know, nothing can replace the parents, the mother, the father. Yes, grandparents are important, but we as a parent, we have to be there emotionally, physically, mentally present with the child, so that the child becomes expressive.
Okay.
We have seen child these days that they are not so expressive. So this is happening because we as a parent are lacking somewhere. And if at the end of the day I go back home and I talk to my kid saying I had my day in this way, whichever way it is applicable, depending to the age group of the child, there should be an appropriate way of communicating with the child.
Absolutely.
If I share something that can be shared with the child, the child will also feel that okay, my mama, my papa is sharing about their life, about their happening, so I should also share something to them. Then the child will also develop that habit.
Maybe the parents can just make a story, so that to take out the things from their children.
Yes, they
so
can.
that can be a healthy activity which can be
Yes.
applied, and that can be a part of their routine.
Yes.
So the child will be habitual. Okay, so this is our time.
Yes.
This is our time. We should discuss things. So this is going to be, and they can also go back to their school or their activity place and discuss with their friends also, so that they can apply
Yes.
those things at their home itself. Now, as doctors, what do you think that like school should also organize these awareness campaigns as well to aware students, of course, and side by side they should also aware the parents as well, isn't it, doctor?
Yes, yes.
And there are many parents we see, they don't open up and tell about the problems what their children are facing. This is also a taboo which is seen in the society.
It's there, it's still there. But we are working on it, and yes, schools should organize, schools are working on it, but there should be more of this parental meetings, parental counseling sessions where experts are visiting the session, and of course they will get a proper help when from the experts.
Okay, okay. So, what suggestions would you like to give to the school authorities also, like for organizing these awareness campaigns for the children? Like, what do you think? Is this should be also a part of their curriculum activities, that one period should be fixed for these kind of like lectures or the speeches by the experts?
Yes, that's why these days, according to NEP, school psychologist has to be there in every school,
Okay.
in every colleges. But yes, most of the schools and colleges are trying to incorporate it. If not, then experts are available. They should actually communicate with the experts and arrange a session accordingly for the betterment of the children as well as the parent. Because it's not like the children are facing something, it's also the parents are suffering.
Okay.
That's why the children is suffering.
Right.
So we have to see the two sides of the coin. So if something is wrong, there has to be a reason behind it.
Absolutely.
So to address that reason, session has to be arranged by the school authorities, the college authorities.
Okay. So, doctor, what tips you would like to give to our viewers who are watching our show?
Yes.
What message you want to give?
Yes, here I would like to say that try to inculcate more of the outdoor activities in your household. Just allow your kids to go out and play. Adopt a outdoor hobby. It's not like hobby cannot be a video game or internet game and so on, you know. So adopting a real practical real life hobby will be helpful for them, and please try to organize your own life so that you can organize your child's life too.
All right. Thank you so much, doctor, for giving us those wonderful messages. And with this, we have come to the end of the show, viewers, and we hope that we were able to answer all your queries in the best possible way. In our next episode, we will be discussing on some other important health issues. Till then, stay healthy, stay fit, and keep watching Northeast Live. Goodbye.